And then there's a few other ceremonies and stuff, and there's one thing with like your elders or something. I didn't quite understand what it was.
So after the monk thing, there's this ceremony. Then we get to the fun part. There's a ceremony which is called Ganmak. Which, how can I describe this ceremony? The best way I can describe it, it's kind of like replicating old ancient traditions where you present the groom to the household of the brides, right? So what happens is you separate the two households, you separate the two families, which is what we did. Sydney's family was in my house, and we had walked to our neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And
if you can call that a house.
If you can call that a house, yeah. Some of my neighbors got pretty wild with their houses.
It's more like a Disneyland looking place.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. And so what happens is you separate the two houses. You have the groom side and you have the bride side. And the whole concept is all the groom side has to come together to help the groom kind of be able to prove to the bride's family that they are worthy to marry the bride.
Right. It was basically an escort mission.
It was an escort mission. We went, my parents went full like force with it. They hired like traditional dancers and like traditional like musicians. So we separated the houses, and then you started off with like kind of like a King Kong Tarzan kind of chant, you know? That starts off the
drums are smacking.
The drums are smacking. But at the front there, we had like some traditional Thai dancers. It felt super weird.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Crazy.
It was so fun though.
They were just like, go here, guy. Hold this thing. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Connor, me, and Didus were given like a plate of like desserts or something. We're just like, hold this. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then the drums start playing. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're going.
Yeah, and so basically my boys just escorted me to the bride's house, right? And so you stop at the gate, and I thought I was meant to talk, but no, my mother was apparently doing the all the talking.
This is your mom's. I was like, let her do
it's like, step aside, son. I got
step
this.
aside, son. And she has to kind of like negotiate with the households to kind of like let us into the house.
Right.
And with this procession, there are 3 gates, and there are different trials that we need to do at each gate.
And these trials are picked like kind of not really at random, but I guess picked by like the groom's house. The bride's house.
The bride's house. So there are different, like how it traditionally is, because families are so big, you'll have different members of the bride's house guarding each gate, and they will ask the groom to do whatever they desire, and there's not anything on paper where, you know, traditionally you need to do this. It's just whatever they feel like asking for, right? It's kind of like
yourself.
kind of like a little forfeit, basically.
Yeah, right.
And so at the first gate, my family, I was asked to shout, you know, I love Sydney as loud as I can.
Bear in mind, there's like 100 people all like crowding around.
This is like
a lot of people.
Yeah, this is a lot of people. You get escorted to the first gate. You get asked. I got asked to shout out I love Sydney so she can hear. She can hear me because Sydney right now, she's not outside. She's inside the house.
Right.
That's how it's meant to be. It's kind of like you're with your bros and you're invading a castle, you know, that's kind of how it's meant to feel.
It's like West Side Story shit.
It's
just like, here I come.
Because I remember saying, it was like, oh, it kind of feels like we're storming a castle right now.
Well, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure your neighbors just joined in. Like, I don't even know who these people were.
Yeah. That was pretty easy. And then the second one, the second gate was a bit more tricky because my family member was like, you're not doing this alone. You got to get your bros involved with this one.
I was like, no, I'm holding the desserts, woman. Can't you see that I'm a dessert holding gentleman? I do not want to involve myself in such frivolous activity.
Yeah, and so she was like, okay, you do 10 push-ups, Joey do 10 push-ups, and Connor dance. And
I was like, why? Why do I have to dance?
Yeah, because at first it was like, go and do 10 push-ups, and we're all like, yeah, let's go, not knowing that we're about to be involved, right?
Yeah,
and then she's like, another 10. And then Garn's like,
I'm like, because the boys didn't know anything about.
No, I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
know
know
what was
anything about this. I'm just like, boys, you got to do this for me, boys, please.
I'm just
please.
holding the dessert.
Yeah, yeah.
so I did the 10 push-ups, and then, fucking Connor and Didas are like laughing at me, right? Thinking that they're gone scot-free.
Yeah.
And then one of them was like, now one of you dance.
Yeah, I was like,
Be
why?
our clown. And so Connor, it was the weirdest thing. I wish I'd filmed this part because it was this bizarre situation of us and 100+ Thai people around us all watching Connor Fortnite dance.
I just started Fortnite.
It's like a dreamscape. I'm just like, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Yeah, because it was almost, it really did feel like we were storming a castle, except Connor was just Fortnite dancing in front of the gates because there was this one
interrogating the guards.
There was this one very small bridge between like the outside and the inside of the house that was over a pond, right? And so Connor was just by himself on this bridge in front of like 100 of like my Thai family,
embarrassing thing
just
in my
like
life.
Fortnite dancing.
And I'm like, I'm so glad I opted to do the push-ups.
Fucking monks just left watching me. We've got these traditional Thai dancers. And there's these dudes playing these Thai instruments. Meanwhile, it's just a white guy dancing, wearing jeans on a fucking bridge in front of 100 Thai people.
It was so funny.
Such a weird experience.
Yeah, but thankfully my bros had my back.
Yeah, you got this
You're
right.
welcome.
Yeah, I got in the second gate, and then the last gate was, of course, guarded by Sydney's family. And they asked me to sing.
Oh, yeah.
Sing the song that I sang for my very first dance with Sydney, which I'm pretty sure I sung really, really badly.
It's fine.
But it didn't
It was
matter.
fine.
Oh, I forgot to mention, even though you had to do these trials, it's normally ended with a little bit of a bribe. That's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Thank God they didn't.
did you know? Because did you notice like when they were like, "Okay, you're worthy," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you," and I gave them like an envelope.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that you bribed. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I like this culture. Yeah.
Yeah, money, all I can say is, money talks. Right? You can be the most worthy man in the world, but a little bit of
Embarrass yourself and give us money.
What if you had to like barter? You're like, best I can do is $10.
that happens actually. That happens.
Really?
Yeah, that happens.
Best I can do is $10.
It's like, all right, 8.
Yeah,
Take it or leave it. Boys, we're packing it up.
Yeah.
Squat out.
We didn't do this for our wedding, but my mom was like, traditionally, sometimes it really depends on the feeling of whoever's guarding the gate. Sometimes if they're feeling like, oh, this doesn't look like enough money, you slip an extra like 100, 200 baht or something like that.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just like
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all for fun, very casual. And then after that is where you had like the adult blessing ceremony, which is kind of what you see with this.
Yeah.
So what happens is you go into another room and the immediate family all take a seat, right? And the basic premise is everyone who is part of your immediate family who is an elder to you gets to bless your marriage, which everyone takes one of these strings, gives their blessings, and then literally like ties a knot for both me and for Sydney.
Right.
Now, I didn't know how long this was going to last because because I was
You got a lot of elders.
at the beginning. I was like, Joey, Connor, Didas, Emily, come in, have a look, and they saw, both of our parents blessing us, tying the knots.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to tell them that my entire family who was sitting down waiting their turn, they're going to come up and bless me as well. So you were there standing there for like, 15 minutes or something?
It was a while.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was like 15, 20 minutes before I was like, oh yeah, you guys go away for now. It's okay because we're going to be here for
It's
a
like
while.
we're 1/10 of the way through right now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh shit. All right.
So as you can see, I like the ceremony and everything, but I'm glad that mostly it was just my family there.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of Sydney's family is in America. because if Sydney's family was there, we would have been there for fucking hours.
Like your whole arm. Would be
My
covered.
whole arm.
Double thighs.
Yeah, because like everyone got the chance to give their blessing, and you can always tell when you've been to like a Thai wedding because this is kind of like a just married kind of symbol because you can tell Southeast Asian families, their arm just gets filled up. And
I was gonna say most people when they go to Southeast Asia and they come back, they only have a bunch of bands or something.
Oh, yeah,
That's like
yeah.
a meme, right?
Lots of bracelets there.
There was like some other ceremony where I think it was something to do with elders, but it wasn't your dad. And then your dad was talking to me,
Right.
And everyone was being really quiet. And I was like, "Is it okay for you to talk this loudly to me?" And then eventually your mum came over and was like, "Shut up."
yeah. That's
And
right.
I was like, not to me, to your dad.
Yeah.
Because it was like everyone was quiet in this room watching one of your family like blasting you or something, and then
Yeah,
your dad just turns around and he goes, "How are you enjoying Thailand so far?" And I was like, "Oh well, I just
Not
kinda,
even like a whisper. Like it was just like a
quite
normal-
loudly." And I was like, "Is it okay for us to talk?" I was like, "What? It's pretty good. Are you okay?"
Like, your son's getting married right in front of you. You should probably pay attention to that.
That's so funny. He was just so chill. He was like, "Oh, whatever." Like,
I think after my dad got his blessing out of the way, it was
Yeah, he
like,
was like, "I'm
"No,
done."
my time. It's like the party. I'm getting the party started.
Yeah.
And then like in the meanwhile, like there's literally a line of my elders just waiting to do it, and my dad's just like, "We're gonna be here a while. Let's just."
Yeah.
talking. I was like, "Oh my god."
And then there was the one after where with the water pouring one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So after I got all my elders' blessing, then we have the chance for everyone else who came to their wedding to give their blessings as well. And so what happens is me and Sydney sat down and we had kind of like we had like a vase with a flower in front of us, and what the concept is that people can pour water over our hands and bless us for the start of a new marriage.
A lot of blessings.
Yeah, a lot of blessings.
in Thai weddings.
A lot of blessings. Every we are very blessed in Thai
Everyone,
weddings.
they you blessed.
Yeah, we bless the hell out of it. Yeah. And everyone lines up once again, and they take a kind of like not a bucket of water, but just a little like vase of water, and just pour it over our hands, and you can say whatever you want. Me and Sydney were there for like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
getting our
The part that I thought was kind of funny was that like I think it was your mom or your aunt that said like to all the English speakers who were there like us was like, okay, so you all have to line up in order from oldest to youngest, and I'm like, I don't know 90% of the people here. How the fuck am I supposed to know who's older and younger than me? So I'm just like, I'll just wait till the end. Don't worry about it. You guys can all go ahead. But like, I remember I didn't know that we had to like say something to you guys, right? Like as we were pouring the water. So it got to my turn and I'm just like, oh fuck, I haven't thought about what to say to you guys. I don't remember what I said to you. I said to Sydney, I'm just like thinking what to say. And I think I ended up just saying, have a good life. And I'm like, that sounds like a threat.
Enjoy the next 24 hours.
It's like I didn't mean it to say it like that. I'm just like, I didn't know what to say, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry.
have a good life. I remember that. Actually.
I was like, have a good life. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
No, it was good though.
Yeah, but like, oh fucking man, I remember because we were sitting there for so long, just getting blessed. I remember turning to Sydney and I was like, this is the weirdest signing ceremony I've ever been to, because it literally felt like a signing session at a convention, except everyone was just washing my hands. So many people washed my hands at this one ceremony that my hands were wrinkly by the end.
Oh, no.
I had clean,
You got the prune hands.
Yeah, I had the prune hands all the way.